All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a video on how you got this guy, man, the Kango wearer, all right, the ultimate scoffer of the Hebrew Israelites, man. Right, you got this guy V Malone, man, right, and he was saying statements about the Hebrew Israelites in regards to how saying, oh, they've just got such a passion to want to have slaves. This is one of the things he said, something along those lines, right? That they just really so desperately want to have slaves. But that's in the Bible, right? That's actually in the scriptures that the saints would want that. And I'm gonna read it right now. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. That's what the saints are really patiently and faithfully waiting for happening. That's what we really want to see, man. Like, I don't feel like I'm evil for really wanting to see that. I really want to see that happen. Like, I don't think that makes me an evil person because I want to see that happen. And if it does, well, then all of the so-called white people that laugh about the Atlantic slave trade and that try and say that that the Israelites don't deserve no reparations for that, but then they ain't got no mouth or nothing to say when all these bombs are dropping right now over the land of Israel on people from the people that are claiming to be the Israelites. They ain't got nothing to say about that. Well, then they're bad people too, then, aren't they? If we're bad people for talking about things, then you and your people are even worse for actually physically doing them, then, aren't they? But you said that those things were civilizing. You said that those things that they did to us civilized us. Yet when we look at your societies right now, they're not civilized. Which is why among your own people you're complaining about them. Which is why among your own people that you don't know how many genders there are. You don't have no set moral code. There's not no one set rule that you agree on among the so-called civilized high IQ people. There's not no set standard among you, even yourself. So you try and make out like you're so high level than everyone else, but you're just not, though, are you? You're just not, man. Now, he was getting like that video was hilarious because he was trying to laugh, but the laugh that he was doing when Captain Tazark was responding to him about things was a nervous laugh, man. That was the laugh that that's ridiculous. But when you go home, you're crying. When you go home, you're overly researching things, hoping that they're wrong. And one thing that guy did as well at the end of the video, when the woman that was the Israelite woman that was with him was there, which she's a demon still, but she actually did something that I thought, you know what, that's all right, man, because she was getting cut too, right? When she was leaving, Vocab Malone said something like, "Oh, have you got any leaving remarks?" And she never said nothing like what he wanted her to say. He wanted her to say something scoffing, right? But she actually never, because there were several points in the video when Captain Desart was saying certain things that she couldn't maintain her position in her seat, man. She had to wriggle around. She had to take a deep breath. And she had to move around in her seat, man, because she knew that what was being said made sense. She knew what was being said made sense. And Volker Malone just obviously going to do his little laughing routine and say, oh, this scripture doesn't apply to you because you're not Israelite. But then not take into account that actually the scripture still exists though. So what does it mean? And that guy, man, if you watch this guy, Volker Malone, man, he's got a very disgusting habit. And it's a habit that's among all Christians. But I'm going to read this first. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers which is other Israelites shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So that scripture's in the Bible. And if we say that we're the Israelites, well, then it's obvious who's the oppressor that's going to be, our captive is going to be. It's obvious who the main person is going to be. So I understand perfectly why they don't want to believe that we're the Israelites. Yet it's still going to happen now. Vocab Malone dodged this scripture like it was a plague and said, oh, this scripture does not apply to you because you're not an Israelite. Well, okay. The scripture still applies to the Israelites though, doesn't it? And he tried to say that this scripture is about, he said it's about Christ. No, it's not. This scripture ain't talking about Christ doing these things, you damn liar. It's clearly not. But let me read this anyway. I mean, this chapter is not about that. This is Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly destroyed. And he tried to say that Captain Tazark was evil because he was saying, oh, if you don't, he threatened the man, if you don't give me 50 push-ups, then you're going to die. Mate, 50 push-ups is one of the least things that they're going to be expected to do. And then he was trying to say that, the ISUPK were oppressing their people because they was making them do sit-ups and push-ups in a park. And I'm thinking, if of all the things you could say in the video, that shouldn't be one of them. Because doing exercise is not oppression. Because he would never say that about the US military, that they're oppressing their people when they're making them go through some gruesome training to strengthen them. You know what I mean? He would never say that about the US military, that they're oppressing their people if he watched their military boot camp training video. The problem of the video was not even that. Now, the real Ninja University t-shirt that they had, that's a problem. In my opinion, that's folly to have a t-shirt saying that on there. But training and doing exercise, what's wrong with that? Now, all of that stuff didn't need to be on camera in the first place. But like Volkan Malone is a hypocrite because he wouldn't say that stuff about the US military. Now, maybe because he looks like he's never trained a day in his life and is not a person that's into exercise, stuff like that, maybe he thinks that that's oppression. But he wouldn't say that. Excuse me, he wouldn't say that about the US military, man. He would never say that. And he wouldn't say it about the Israeli military neither. He wouldn't say, he's only got something to say about whatever we do. And that's one of his habits, man. He's quick to tell a Hebrew Israelite what they think a scripture means. It don't mean that. But then when you spin it back to him and you're like, okay, what does it mean then? He don't give an answer. You know how arrogant that is to do that. He'll say, oh, what you Israelites think the scripture means. Nah, it don't mean that. Okay, what does it mean then? Oh, well, just not what you think. Anyway, next. Like the geezer's a demon. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm not the most smartest guy in the world, but nations are made up of people. So him saying that's evil to try and say that, but what used to happen to us? What used to happen to us, man? What used to happen to our people? And the thing is, when we say what used to happen to us, they'll say, oh, you never went through it, so don't say anything. But they try and take their forefathers' achievements all the time, or anything that their forefathers went through. They try and take that all the time and try and apply it to themselves. They're trying to apply things to do with the US military and apply it to themselves, and they ain't in the military. They ain't been dodging no shots, but they'll apply that to themselves. They try and apply inventions that other Edomite men have made and apply it to themselves. Oh, we've made this, we've made that. So if we can take the bad and apply it to ourselves, if you can take the good things that your people supposedly did and apply it to yourself, then we can take the bad things that our people have went through and apply it to ourselves, because we view ourselves on a nation level, man. Just because you people don't do that, that's your problem. Verse 14, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many nations. So all you people that have laughed at us, man, you ain't gonna be laughing soon. And Volkan Malone was trying to fake like he was, this is ridiculous. No, he was taking it real serious, man. And there was a particular point when I think it was Yohana General. They call him General Yohana, right? And he was there, and Captain Tazart was there, and then that Tommy G guy was there, and they was talking about like, the Atlantic slave trade and all the things that Jake went through, and there was like a whole like almost 2 minutes where Volkan Malone just was playing back the video, and he just wasn't saying nothing, man. Right? He just was silenced because he knew that they deserve what we're saying that they deserve, man. And the woman there, D New, I think her name is D New. She was there and she was getting cut too. Because I don't like Esau. You know what's funny, man? I gotta say this, man. You know what's funny? Esau does not know Eve the way that he thinks he knows her. You know, we know Eve for real, man. That's our woman, man. We know Eve, man. We know Shanika and that. You know what I mean? We know Letitia and that. We know our women of our nation. If Esau really thinks that in the kingdom of heaven, when we are immortalized, that Eve herself, man, the Israelite woman, Eve, man, would not want to see Esau in captivity, he has got no idea. Eve is the Israelite woman is one of the most power chasing people on the earth. She's a power chaser. The only reason why she vibes with Esau right now is because he's on top. But when he's at the bottom, she will not think she'll realize that he looks exactly the way that he actually does. She's not going to be sneaking down to the barn to see Esau and be like, oh, if it means that you can't be in the kingdom, I'll stay with you, honey. She would never do that. She wouldn't do that. Even in the flesh now, even in this body right now, she wouldn't do that. Never mind when she's changed and she's under the new covenant. So all these Israelite women that Vocab Malone likes to bring on and have as his sidekick on these videos, them women will throw him under the bus real quick when they really start to realize the changeover's coming, man. And he'll throw them under the bus real quick too when he sees that the changeover's coming. Like Esau really actually thinks that Eve's rocking with him like that for real. No, she's not, man. That Israelite woman that you've corrupted, she'll be the first one to throw it. Let me say it like this, man. Let me read this scripture first. So right chapter 10 and verse 30. The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. That's the only reason why Esau gets any praise. That's the only reason why the Israelite woman respects Esau in any way. It's not because of how he is as a person. It's because of the perceived glorious luxury of him having money and wealth that's out there. The perceived image that he has. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? So when Esau loses all the riches, you think that the Israelite woman is going to talk to you with respect? She's going to talk to you worse than she spoke to us. And let me say this as well. All these Israelite women that you Edomite men have corrupted and made be your sidekicks in this world, if they believe that they could get their hair back and their figure back without having to go to the gym and without having to wear a weave, they'd throw every single one of you Edomite men under the bus. If they genuinely believed that they would get their hair back and all their beauty back that they had from the ancient times of the old kingdom of Israel, they'd throw you Edomite men under the bus, man. That's what you Edomite men don't understand. The Israelite woman, she's the most power-chasing woman on the earth because she is supposed to be with the best men on earth. And she's supposed to be the best woman on earth. And the time's going to come when she is going to be the best woman on earth under the new covenant. But right now, she's not though. Right now, she's lost and she's bugged out. But she's still got that love of power within her because she's an Israelite woman that's supposed to be with men of King Solomon's stature, King David's stature. You know what I mean? That's what heritage she comes from. And that's why she's the one running around all the time thinking she's a queen and all that. That's why most of the arrogance that all women have on this earth right now has stemmed from talking points that the Israelite woman comes up with, the so-called black woman, Latino and Native American woman. But all you Edomites thinking that the Israelite woman is going to rock with you when you lose your power. Like, no, she's not. She's going to leave you and throw you under the bus, man. Don't you get that? And all you people scoffing about and that used to laugh about the Atlantic slave trade, as you start hearing our doctrine more and more, the thing that we actually believe in is starting to not seem as funny no more, isn't it? And it's starting to seem like, man, we should have picked our own shit. We should have picked our own cotton. That's what y'all all starting to realize, man. We should have picked our own cotton. And all you scoffers that want to try and talk about, or want to try and call people low IQ and that, and then you want to talk about debating publicly. Mate, I don't need to debate none of y'all. We don't need to debate none of you people. We don't need to go back and forth with any of you people about who the real Israelites are. We already know who we think the real Israelites are. You figure it out for yourself. Don't try and get on the comment board asking us, oh, who's the real... Mate, you figure it out, man. You don't know? You don't know already? Why are you asking us for? I'm like, what? We're low IQ. So why are you asking me? If I'm low IQ right? If I've got a room temperature IQ, if we're just apes and all that, what you people want to think, why are you asking us any questions, man? Huh? Why don't you high IQ people figure it out then? Why don't you go to your high IQ churches filled with lily colored people, yeah, and figure it out for yourself? Why are you bothering us for? Because you know that we got the truth, man. We don't need to go no back and forth with none of you people about who the real Israelites are. We are. You don't realize this already. You don't know the answers for yourself. Why don't you know the answers, man? You ain't figured it out yet of your own self. You know what I mean? You're asking us questions. Why don't you know the answers? Why don't you know? Thinking you're going to examine us. No, the evidence of what we believe is out there, man. Is the evidence of what you believe out there? Or are there still some scriptures that you don't know the answers to? Or several? And then at the same time, you want to try and tell us that our answer's wrong when you ain't even got an answer for yourself? The nerve of you scumbags, man. But anyway, I'm ending the video. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.